Hey, a very happy 4th of July to you. You know what that means? That means it's July and we haven't wrapped up June yet, so let's do that now. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back with another monthly wrap-up, this time for the month of June of 2021 as we close down the first half of the year here. We are going to do like we usually do, guys. We're going to go through this piece by piece about what the channel's like, what it's doing right now, how growth's going, what I read, what I like the best, and the most popular content, all those sorts of things. I think it's a fun peek behind the curtain as I try to be transparent with you guys about how the health of the channel is doing. So, guys, there will be timestamps below if you don't like certain sections of this. I always say if you don't like those analytics, hey, you can always move on to the next part. So let's begin like we always do, guys, with what I read in June. I read 5 books and 6 manga. And I'd like to count those separately because there are a lot of people out there who don't consider comics or manga or graphic novels as books. I think those people aren't really people, but I'm going to respect that people believe this. So let's just keep on dividing it that way. So obviously, let's get the manga first. I read Berserk volumes 11 through 16. I've talked at length on this channel about my experience with Berserk and how my opinion has been very much changed about the manga as a medium and something that I will definitely not disregard in the future like I had for years, just saying I don't think it's for me. But I'll talk about that some other time. I also read House of Chains. That was the next up in the Malazan read-along, Malazan number 4 of the Book of the Fallen. And lots of discussion still to come for that. I'm going to be doing my next spoiler talk and then my standard review, and then I will be having my veteran guest, which is one or all of the members of the 10 Very Big Books podcast. I'm very, very excited about that because they are just a riot to talk to. Sometimes you have technical errors, guys. What can I say? My boom fell down. Anyway, all right, then after that we did Dark Tower 3. This was The Wastelands. Now, like I said, in my memory, Drawing of the Three was my favorite. This is all a reread for me. Drawing of the Three was my favorite. That's Dark Tower number 2. But 3, I feel like, is right there with it. Those 2 and 3 are just really just fantastic stories and so different. But, again, I don't know. Revisiting 4, it might kind of barge its way into that conversation too. So enjoying it quite a bit on a reader, you guys. There's lots of things I feel like you miss the first time around that you kind of know the ending now and you can kind of look for these things. So I know I sound like one of those Malazan people like, hey, on like your 9th reread, you're going to get these things. I think on the 2nd reread, you're going to get a lot more things in Dark Tower that you didn't the first time around. But I'm very much enjoying revisiting Midworld and having a great time with that quartet. Then I read Project Hail Mary. I did not plan to read Project Hail Mary this month by Andy Weir. I was on vacation and I said, you know what? I want something that's just kind of cool and relaxing like I am on this beach right now. So I picked up Project Hail Mary and had a great time with it. Plenty of stuff that I've said on the channel about this previously. And then I finally got into The Poppy War. That is my summer read, is The Poppy War, Dragon Republic, and The Burning God, all 3 in that trilogy. I'm doing June, July, August for those. And we did The Poppy War first, and I had mostly positive things to say about it. There was some things I didn't really care for. The protagonist, very likable, but I've read plenty of books where the protagonist really was leading the story, but it wasn't even close to my favorite character. So as long as she keeps up this really gruesome world that she's developed, I'll probably be on board for the rest of the trilogy. But I'll just say the ending to book 1, one of the darkest things I've ever read, and that's impressive because I've read a lot of dark stuff, and then I closed things down with Lisey's story by Cy King. And I talked in the weekly update that kind of let me down a little bit. I am watching the Apple TV series now after I finished the book, and I think I'm enjoying the series better, which is also written by Stephen King. So it feels like, hey, it's been like 15 years. These are some things maybe I look at differently now, and I can make some adjustments. And I'll say on the show so far, I like all the changes that have been made to that book. Because while I said it wasn't a bad book, it wouldn't be anything that I'd ever read again by King. And it's not one that I'm going to highly recommend. If you're not a constant reader, you're probably not going to get a ton out of it if you're like new to Stephen King. But I do think that the TV series is much more approachable for you. Maybe than the book is. I don't know. Maybe this one will grow on me in time. But there was just a lot of narrative decisions made in that book that were just not working for me. It seemed very, very out of character for Mr. King. But that's everything that I read there for the month of June. I started Demon in White, but only got 20 pages into it before the month ended, so I'm not going to count that one, obviously, but I do want to talk about my book of the month for June. Now, if you've watched the channel at all, you know what this is going to be. It was not really surprising based off of the feedback I had heard about it. Everybody was telling me, oh, you know what? It's as good as that other book he did. And I'm talking, of course, about Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I adored The Martian. I thought The Martian was just a superb book. And I actually saw the movie first, and I still love the book. And in case you guys are wondering, I'm that type that I see the movie first. I always read the book and then say, the book was better. You read the book first, you see the movie second, and you're always like, hey, the book was better. So you think, okay, that's kind of the same, but I don't know. I don't know. With me, I feel like if you watch the movie, it puts a lot of ideas in your head that you can't get past when you go back and read them. So I am unlike other people who like to do it that way. I like to read it before I watch it, just because I don't want the creator of the visual medium telling me what these characters look like, what they're thinking, what they're doing, what this world looks like. So that's just always kind of been the way that I've been. But with The Martian, I was fine with it like that. With Project Hail Mary, I won't lie, the first 100-ish pages, I was thinking, so we're just going to do The Martian again, basically. No, guys, it is not. And I hear a lot of people say, it's better than The Martian. Like I said, I'm not ready to go there yet, but I'm going to say it's at least as good. It's at least as good as The Martian. And I think that if you enjoyed The Martian, you'll enjoy this. If you didn't like The Martian, you don't like Andy Weir's kind of way of adding levity to kind of not really take the stakes out, but to, when you're in super serious mode, sometimes you need some of that levity to kind of relieve the tension. If you don't like the way that he did that in The Martian, you're not going to like Project Hail Mary, because he does that here. What I said with this book is it is a Michael Crichton book, but with Andy Weir's dad jokes in it. That's how I feel about it. Because it's got all the science and stuff that Michael Crichton would have, but I think that he makes his characters a little more funny. Crichton's characters were always very, very serious. But there are things in the book that I really can't talk about. I haven't even been able to review this book yet, because I can't figure out how to talk about it without spoiling something. There's something very, very huge about this story that if I even tell you, just generally what this story is about, it's going to ruin the book for you. And I don't want to do that for anybody. So I'm thinking this might be the only one I have no choice but to do a spoiler review for. But I just let you guys know this book is phenomenal. And I think anyone will like it. Anyone. It don't matter 12 years old to 75 years old. You're going to have a great, great time with it. Men, women, whatever, children. This is a great, great book about friendship, about discovery of one's own self and beliefs. And sacrifice. I don't know. There are things, like I said, I can't talk too much about, but guys, just trust me, this book has so much heart. You're going to adore it. Just give it a chance. I don't care if you don't like science fiction. Doesn't matter. It kind of transcends that. Fantastic book. And I think right now, flip a coin between this and Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne as my favorite book of 2021. A new book that came out in 2021. It's that good, guys. It really, really is. And you guys know how I feel about John Gwynne, so if I'm putting it up there with that, then you know it was very, very good. Highest of recommends, and like I said, easily in the conversation for my favorite book of the year overall, over everything I've read, not even just stuff in 2021. It's really that good, guys. So, book of the month, Project Hail Mary. Check it out if you haven't. If you have, hey, just make sure you pay it forward and tell everybody else to check it out, because I know they're going to love it as much as you and I did. Let's talk about a little bit of channel growth here in June. I put up 18 videos this month. That's one more than May. I actually thought it was going to be less because I did take a vacation there, but I did record a little bit ahead. But real quick, because I know guys aren't crazy about the numbers segment of this thing, 2,137 subs. That's up 530 from May. So first chance you'd say, hey, well, cool. That means your trajectory is going back up. No, I think I kind of opened the way for some new viewers by reviewing Berserk. Obviously, that's not the type of viewers that I usually would bring in on this channel. So I'm bringing in a lot of new viewers there, and I hope that they'll check out some other stuff and stick around, and they aren't just waiting for me to drop those reviews for Berserk and then like, peace, see you later. I mean, some will, some probably will. I don't know how many of those are hardcore fantasy, sci-fi, or horror readers, as much as they are just into manga. But like I said, I am open to doing more manga on the channel now and reading more manga just based off of how much I've really enjoyed Berserk. Now the viewers and the watch time is down a little bit. 248,000 views. That's down 17,000 from May. That's not that big of a difference. I mean, in the greater scheme of things, it's really not as much as you guys. It sounds like it is. 36,000 hours of watch time. That's down 8,000 hours from 8,000 hours from May. That I did have a live stream last month, so I think that's going to get that's a 3-hour video, so that's going to get my watch time a little higher than usual. So I really think with the subs went up and everything else, basically about, it may say it's down, but it's about the same. I think it's, you look at those data lines, it really is about the same. So again, guys, I feel like things are stabilized. I don't expect a big drop or a rise either way. Things are just kind of like stabilized. It's kind of where we're going. That's why I put my my goal this year for 50,000. Other people are like, oh, you gonna hit 100,000 this year? I was like, no, most likely not, unless something absolutely insane happens. But there we go, guys. That is the channel growth for the month of June. Let's move on to the most popular content in June. Now, it's no shock here, guys. Berserk really led the way. Why I decided to read Berserk, 13,000 views. Like I said, it brought in a lot of new viewers to the channel, so I am really grateful for that. And I'm grateful that people got me to read this because it is a really, really good story. I'm not going to go crazy talking about it here because I've done that in 3 videos now. Actually, it was just the third one, the Golden Age one, is the one that really got me talking about how amazing this really is. The first 2 were kind of like, hey, I hope so. And the first one was like, oh, I can see potential, so there we go. But what a shock. Number 2, Berserk, the Black Swordsman review. That is 12,500 views. That is the first arc. The way I decided to review this, because there are so many individual chapters, is he has very well labeled arcs in his comic. And it tells you, basically this is this story arc and then this story arc. Very easy to understand. So I'm basically treating those each one like a book. So the Black Swordsman was really short, but it's 12,500 views. And then, of course, my third most popular video this month, Berserk, the Golden Age review. As recording this, it was at 10,000 views, but that's going up because not only is that the most popular arc in that comic, I think, it is very much something that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. There's a lot of people, when I first started this channel, had said, hey, you've got to read the Golden Age arc of Berserk. You don't have to read anything else, just read the Golden Age arc. I was like, well, that's weird. Is it the beginning? No, it's not the beginning. But since it's a flashback, you really can just start there if you'd like to. I recommend it. It's very, very good. Next up is my May 2021 book haul, 9,500 reviews. Those always, get a lot of attention, obviously. And as long as you guys keep sending me wonderful, wonderful stuff, I will keep talking about you wonderful, wonderful people, because those are always fun videos to make. And I love showing off the art and thanking those wonderful people who send me stuff, as well as the things I spoil myself with once in a while. And trust me, guys, June is going to be no different. And then my flash poll for you pick my next why you should read. That was something I just kind of did just off the cuff. I had the camera set up. I had already finished recording something. I was like, hey, what else can I do without really having to think about it? Let's see here. I got all these why you should read possibilities. How about I let the viewer choose the next one? 5,700 views as doing this, but over 500 comments. So I'm still kind of weeding through those to kind of compile the data. But the thing about it is I listed 7 series in that, and it's very close. I don't think there's a clear-cut winner just using the eye test. Usually a lot of stuff like that, you always are kind of already, I can tell already this is going to be a runaway winner. But no, I'm not positive who actually is going to win that one. So I said I was going to give it like a week and then kind of cut off the vote and then actually like compile all this stuff. So it'll be very interesting to see what you guys should read next. And that, guys, I think that's all my super popular stuff. I always like to kind of like pick one that is like a favorite that didn't hit those top 5 there. I think for me, it was probably doing that review for Sandals Montego Bay, just because it was something different. That's my off the book segment. And it's the first time I really just kind of strayed completely away from anything I've ever done on the channel before. Most of my off the books are like, favorite movies, favorite TV shows, favorite comics, things like that. It's always just stuff that kind of sticks to this medium of media. But I never really had gone away from that and doing a review of Sandals Montego Bay that we went on for our 10th wedding anniversary. I thought it was a lot of fun. Seeing why travel bloggers do what they do, I get it now. It's a lot of fun. I wish I got paid to go, and do that, or just get to go to the resort for free to review it for them like those guys do. But, baby steps, you guys. If Sandals wants me to do that, hey, call me. For sure. But yeah, a lot of fun for me just because it was so different. And, basically I got to relive that trip again, which was just heaven. And, a lot of people I know that had a lot of questions about it have told me, thank you so much. There were so many questions I had about this, and you've answered them all. And that is always the goal with these things. I do want to say I did have some videos with more views than these. They're my weekly updates. My weekly updates, basically just a reading vlog for what I'm doing for the week. And then I'll talk about, like movie and TV stuff at the end of kind of like what's just like kind of going on, which is kind of a throwback to my old podcast, Geek Media Core podcast, where we used to just talk about what was going on in media, pop culture at the time. And it's always just something that I do for fun. People seem to really enjoy it. It's just a good way to close down the week, talk about what I did, what I plan to do the next week kind of thing. Those get more views than some of these, but I don't like to list those. I like to keep the most popular content section to just like, original ideas and stuff like that. So just so you guys know, I do notice that the weekly updates do have more views than this. And I thank you guys. I'm glad you guys enjoy them as much as I do, because I love doing the weekly updates. It's a lot of fun. Let's talk about some channel goals here before I close it down. Look, guys, my birthday is August the 4th, and I just crossed 48,000 subscribers. I thought it would be really, really neat to set a goal of 50,000 by my birthday. So we got about, as I start recording this, about 1,800 to go. So just over a month for 1,800 subs. So tell your friends. That would be a really awesome birthday present, I think, is to hit that 50,000 milestone. Because like I said, that was my year-end goal. So I would be very, very happy to hit that by my birthday. It'd be a lot of fun there. I think going forward with the channel, and this isn't just for July, this is kind of for the rest of the year, is just keep that balance of books and also reintroducing manga, comics, graphic novels, because I feel like that's something that's lighter. Say, you're struggling with a really, really heavy epic fantasy book at the time. You want maybe take a night off, pick up a comic, pick up a manga, something like that. I think that I could really get back into that. I'm doing Berserk. I've got other ones, Vinland Saga I want to get into. I just got Hellsing. I've got, Death Note. Some of these really, really famous mangas. I'm rereading Sandman. I would like to reread Hellblazer. I love a lot of these comics. I want to reread them again. I might end up covering Saga on the channel, so I might be doing a reread of Saga and then be really, really angry that it's been 3 years and we still don't have any new issues. But, just kind of balancing out the scales a little bit. I don't know how much of that stuff I'm going to, review on the channel. I don't pretend that there's this big, huge market for me to review comics. I think it's more just the popularity of Berserk than it is that I'm talking about them. But that's not why I've decided to do this. It's made me remember how much I like having that counterbalance of reading comics and manga. Well, not manga. This is the first time I've read manga, but comics, graphic novels. You know what I mean. So I would like to reintroduce that to my constant schedule of always being able to have that there in access at all times. And I guess the last one, just kind of be happy with this scheduling decision that I made, where I've started to include the weekends, because it just got too hard to do this Monday through Friday, 4 videos in 5 days basically. So I've just decided I'm gonna, hey, there's 7 days a week. I'm still gonna have 4 videos a week, most likely, including the weekly update. So you know what? People live on the weekends. I don't think that nobody doesn't watch YouTube on the weekends. So I can use some of that time to put some videos out on the weekends, and that is the way we are going forward. So guys, another fun month on the channel, and I'm hoping July brings even more fun this month. It is a Malazan free month, so lots of different things coming on. I'm going to be talking about it in my my TBR for the summer 2021 list that I come up here very, very soon. So stay tuned for that, guys, and drop in the comments and let me know what was your book of the month for the month of June. I'd love to hear you talk about it. I'll talk to you there.